Welcome, my name is Rosh and I'm the founder of SpyTomorrow.com. And in this video, we're talking about 3 reasons why your options are not making any money. Hey, this is my casual Friday chat where I talk about topics that I think will help make you a better trader and help you make better decisions in your trading of stocks, options, ETFs, and even SPY trades, of course. This is a Spy Tomorrow channel. Now, for us to understand why our options are not making any money, we need to understand the foundation of options and why we're paying a specific premium for the options that we're trading. You know, we are trading an option contract, and that contract is for a specific stock or ETF, and let's use $100 as our foundation throughout this example. But we're trading a contract to buy a stock or ETF at a specific strike price. So if we think our $100 stock is going to 105, we would buy a call option. If we think our $100 stock is going down to 95, we would buy a put option. And the premiums we pay have to do with the value of that asset, along with 2 other factors. But let's start with the value of the asset. So if we think that it's going up, we might buy a call. But we have a choice. We can buy a call that is in the money, meaning it has intrinsic value, or out of the money, meaning it has potential value. So you're going to pay something, although it doesn't have any value at the moment. But it does have value based on those other 2 factors. So let's say that we buy a contract because we think our stock is going up, and we buy a call at a strike price of $99. The value of that stock is $100. So we already have $1 of intrinsic value. It's worth $1. Contracts up, you're going to get $1 per share, or contract times 100, you get $100, right? So that's what we do. We're controlling 100 shares of a specific stock for these option contracts. And so there's $1 of value, but we're not going to pay $1. We're going to pay more than that. And part of it, how much more, has to do with that value of the stock. For example, if each option goes up $1 strike price for each option contract, there's a different percentage move to get there compared from a $5 stock, $50 stock, $100 stock, or a $500 stock, right? So if we have a stock that's worth $100, for it to go from 99 to 100 is much more feasible than it going from $5 to $6, because it's a much bigger percentage move going from 5 to 6. So there's a larger premium on the stock, on the option contract, for the move from 99 to 100. So we would be paying more premium than for the lower value stocks. Now, with that said, we have 2 other factors to consider too. So again, that factor is not $1 because it's $99. We have a premium because of the potential move there, and the market makers figure that out, and they have their formulas. But there's also another factor, and that is volatility. How volatile is the market? What are the chances that it's going to go from 99 to 100 or 100 to 105? Higher volatility increases the chances that that option contract will increase in value one way or the other. And so we pay a premium for that. And this is important to understand. And we're going to dig deeper into volatility and how it can help us and hurt us. And quite often that's a reason why we don't make money with our options. The next thing is the time. How much time does that contract allow for that move to happen? If the contract is 3 days out, then it's going to have less of a premium or cost than a contract that is 30 or 60 days out, because there's more time for that contract to add more intrinsic value or reach value. If you buy a option that is out of the money, for example, that 101 strike contract, for it to move $1 to be in the money and valuable, if there's more volatility and you have more time to do it, the chances are much greater that it will happen, and we pay a premium for that. So just know we're paying for the premium related to the underlying value of the stock, the volatility of the stock or the market, and then of course the time that you have left on that contract. Because as you know, we buy and sell contracts, we don't keep them until expiration. Now, here's the thing. Your stock can lose value because maybe we just had a very volatile time. Maybe the stock market just crashed, or maybe you were in earnings season with your stock. Maybe as you're getting closer and closer to the earnings day of your specific stock, the volatility was going crazy, and then after that, everything calmed down, and then that evenness, the lower volatility immediately brought the price and the premium down. So remember those three factors, and volatility is a big one. So what can sometimes happen is, let's say the market just falls greatly and you're expecting a big move up. Well, let's say we have our stock that is $100 and we buy a contract that's maybe just in the money, but it's $300. There's $2 of premium. Say our $99 strike price costs us $3. So that's $1 of intrinsic value and $2 more of premium based on a number of factors, volatility and time. And so we paid $300 and the market moves up 25 cents the next morning. We were right. Say our indicator said up and it went up. Our call would be going up in value, but it didn't. It was only now worth $275. You say, wait a minute. My indicator said up, and the underlying stock moved up, and I lost money on my option. Well, volatility may have come down because things were evening out, and because volatility was coming down, the value of that premium started coming down too. And that's how that happens. And also, time plays that factor too. And it increases closer you get to expiration. So if you had an option expiration of 3 months out, time decay may be looking like this. But as we get into weeks away from expiration, it's going like this, then daily, then all of a sudden hourly, and it just crashes. Because at the end of the day, if we have an option contract for our option of $100 and our strike price is $99, the intrinsic value is $1. And when that option expires, the contract expires, you get $1. There's no more premium left. The premium is gone. And if you had bought something, an option contract out of the money and it has no intrinsic value, let's say your strike price was 101, so you still had $1 to go, it goes worthless. There's no value at all. And that's why when options are further out of the money, they start to go down a lot quicker, especially as we get closer and closer to the expiration, because honestly, the potential value is not there anymore. So these are important things to understand. Volatility can be great. If volatility is increasing, well, then our options may go up in value more than you expected. And that's a wonderful thing when that happens. However, when volatility is coming down quickly, it can really hurt you in your overnight trades. And that's why you should really pay attention. And that's why if you haven't seen my video on the $1,000 rule, I would take a look at it, because it's really addressing this topic. We understand that, look, if the value of my option gets to a certain amount, it doesn't matter what happens. I'm probably not going to make money, especially if the expiration is really close. It's 4 or 5 days out. And the $1,000 rule is related to the SPY TS trade or similar trades where if the total premium buying the call and the put is over $1,000, we just don't do it. We just don't do it because chances of us actually making money are very slim. And you should take a look at the options chain. Really study it and notice, that when you go through the option chain and you see expirations further out, take a look at the SPY. Look at the option that is just in the money and see how much it is. Maybe it's $2. And then go a little further out, maybe another 14 days out, now you see it's worth, say, $3.50. And we go out 3 months and now it's worth $6. It's the same option strike price. However, the expiration is further out, and so you're paying more. And that will give you an idea. Now, you also may notice that there are the days that you have a go-to option. Say you buy the SPY, and you're usually buying the expiration of 4 to 5 days out for an overnight swing trade, which is what we do at spytomorrow.com. And that overnight swing trade, we notice that our 4 to 5 day out expiration is about $2. It's low volatility. But as volatility increases, all of a sudden, that same type of option contract is now $5 or $6. And that's when we know it's getting too high and we may want to look at a different type or go further out. There are a number of approaches that we can consider when these things happen. Maybe we just go a very, very small directional trade. There are a number of things that we do. We buy ETFs, leveraged ETFs in those situations when we know that, look, there's a no-win situation. Maybe it's over the weekend and we just know that the theta time decay is just going to eat away at our opportunity and any profit, even if our indicator is right. The overnight, over the weekend, time decay theta is just going down so fast, it just doesn't matter. And recognizing that is important. And that time decay is theta. And so that's something you can look at and see how much your option will go down over a 24-hour period based on the current calculations. These are all things you really must consider in the process. The price, volatility, and the time, the expiration of the contract. Those are the three things. Get to know them, understand what happens, really research the differences, and you'll have a better sense of when and why your options just might not be working. Now, obviously, as an options trader, we talk about volatility as an important part of this process. And yeah, we like volatility because, again, it can really help us. As I said, it can also hurt us. But what hurts us more is when the market opens flat. And that happened all this week. And I had a rough time of it for 2 parts. One, because the market opened flat, and I traded it poorly, which we'll talk about in a moment. When the market opens flat, remember we have that theta. Let's say we're doing a SPY TS trade. So we've bought a call, we've bought a put 2 strikes out of the money. But overnight, if the market closed here and then opened here, it's about flat. And so we lost the time decay on both options. And so we've lost. We have to wait for a big move. But here's the thing. If it doesn't move very much, now you just have more time decay eating away at the value of your options. And that's why I say get out. Get out in the first 5 minutes, the latest half hour. Because if things are going your way, hey, follow it up. If things are still going your way even after that first half hour, follow it. But for the most part, the majority of the volatility is happening in those first 5 minutes. And that theta or volatility premium will start to come down too over that next half hour. And unless things are really going in our favor, we probably just want to get out. And one of the worst things we can do is try to fix bad trades or trades that don't go our way. Now, some people will sell and go back in, and that's okay if you have a plan. Now, if you just wait it out and think it's going to come back, again, time is not on your side for these types of trades. So you're better to get out and then reevaluate and decide if you want to get back into the trade, because you really do think, although it opened flat, it really is going to be up or the market's going to tank. And that's fine, but you should make it a new trade. If you like to day trade, if you like to trade during the day. Otherwise, just get out. If you've lost a little bit of money, a little bit of premium, get out and then trade again at the end of the day when we have a new indicator and we do our overnight trade. You'll probably be a lot happier for it, because even if it does go a little bit your way in the next hour or two, you still may end up losing more money, because the theta decay is happening so quickly that the price of that stock or ETF that it's going up isn't going up fast enough. The time decay is actually going down faster than the stock is going up. And that's what I'm talking about. So you need to be very careful. One of the biggest reasons our options and our trading styles are not working, it's usually us. It's usually me. When I'm truly failing, it's because, look, I didn't trade it very well. We have an opportunity to become better traders. Let's say our signal said up and the market went down, or our stock went down. Well, if we bought that call in the put for a SPY T trade, the put has most likely some value. We can sell that if we think the stock is going to go up, back up, maybe a reversal and go back up, and we can make money on the way back up. And that's some really good trading and understanding some signals. Start with some basic signals like moving averages and money flow and RSI. Get to learn some of those day trading techniques that will help you get out of your trades with a little more profit, or making up, you're just minimizing your losses. I think learning how to minimize your losses is just as important as increasing your gains. And getting rid of the emotional part, the fear of missing out, letting it all go, being okay with the loss and moving on is probably going to make you as much money as anything. Because when you try to make up for that one-day loss, remember, this is a week long. We look at our week. How did we do this week? How did we do this month? And that's what we're looking at. And if we're trying to make it all up in one day, well, chances are that's going to hurt you more overall than just the bad trade initially. It really does work that way. So keeping your emotions under control can help you make a lot more money. But if you want to get back in, if it really seems obvious to you, then sell out your trade and then start anew with a new expiration, new strike price, and not try to fix a bad trade. That is certainly ends up being the detriment of many. A good, smart trader. You're a smart person, but really that emotion can just cancel out any intelligence that you might have and ability to become a good trader. Options, I think if you just really want to have a foundational understanding of why your trades aren't going well, is that time is not on your side. It really is not. Some people take advantage of that by selling options, and there are techniques and styles to do that. Take advantage of that theta decay. Take advantage of volatility coming down. But in general, that's not what we are doing. We try to keep it very simple. We buy and sell our options, and we have very specific trades to do that. Not every trade will go well, but if you understand what is happening in situations, then you can make better decisions in terms of the options that you do buy. And I think that's really important. All right, if you have questions related to SPY T trading options, put them in the comments below so I can have another chat with you on a Friday. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff. And of course, I'll see you in the next video.